Greetings, my fellow travelers. This isn't a sometimes I hate this game. This is more sometimes I hate game developers. And for those of you who love the game developers at Hello Games, I'm sorry your feelings are going to get hurt, but I don't see any reason to spare them just because you like the game or just because I like the game. I'm in the third step of Vile Brood. It's basically a new Nexus mission that's spun off from Liquidators. You see my ship? You see the Korvax monolith? Somewhere between those two, there was a marker, and the trees were there. So what I did is, they're pretty much all lined up. Summoned the Brood on the downside of that hill, got into my ship that was just passed at that time. The Korvax monolith. Took up, strafed the shit out of the Brood Mother, went over the hill, spun around, came back, and she was gone. If it took 5 seconds, well, hell spells. And this is where I say I sometimes hate game developers, because a lot of them have this approach to their games that they want their players to play the game the way the game developers, want the players to. And I'm sorry, but I'm not your player. We're not in a playpen. I'm your customer. You can picture being told by the guy at Ford, yeah, you can't drive your Mustang on Sundays unless the top is down. Who the fuck are you to tell me how to drive my car? Your job is to sell the car to me and service it once I bought it. And we give game developers, video game publishers, huge pass on things not being done right. But the simple fact is that it's the second hill I climbed on top of with the cliff at the bottom, so I could shoot down this motherfucker. I did that during the expedition. There was a hollow tower. I was on top, just bombarding the critter. Worked very well. Well, you know what works even better? Strafing it from a distance of 50 U's, 100 U's away. How do I know it works so much better? Expedition after Omega, but before Liquidators, there was you had to go kill tendrils. And the tendrils are basically, they look like much bigger versions of the abominations. We're basically the babies of those guys, the planetary worms. So, geographical reference, such as the trees, marker, and I would strafe back and forth. And sometimes I killed all of them in one, in a couple of strafes. A couple of times it's like, yeah, I wasn't very successful, I only killed one or two. But it wasn't like they just disappeared. So either this is very, very bad programming. It's like, oh, well, if he's gone more than a certain distance, he's not interested in fighting the critter, so we're just going to cancel the fight. Maybe I ran away to, heal myself. Maybe I ran away to reload my weapon. Maybe I just went a certain distance away to turn around, because this ain't an interceptor. I can't just hover. And sorry, but hovering in midair, no different than just standing in the open. You're basically begging to be bombarded. And there's too many times I've seen this in video games, and No Man's Sky is not exempt from this, where the game developers want you to do things a certain way, and well, too bad if you don't. It's been the morning. What can I say? I'm not in a good mood. Not sure why, because yesterday was a rather successful day, all things considered. Might still be reeling from going from working nights to working days and evenings. I was not supposed to work evenings. And it's been 2 weeks now, and still off. I've been living nights for several months. You get kind of used to sleeping during the day. So sleep has been an issue this past week. Having said that, Like any feedback I've given to No Man's Sky, I don't expect that there will be any response to it whatsoever. Uh, which of course makes you wonder if they're even looking at, and that's not fair because I'm pretty sure once or twice videos that I had posted but not made public until, you know, X amount of days later, that had been visited. And the only way that would have happened is if somebody responded to the email, the feedback page, and pressed the link to the YouTube video. But a comment in the comment section. Hello Games, so we received your video. We looked at it. Thank you for sharing. But it's a little bit annoying when there's only one way of doing something. It's like the biodomes. They only have 3 entrances. Anyway, before this starts being a maudlin, unpleasant, or more unpleasant than it already is video, I wish you well, my fellow travelers, and boys and girls at Hello Games. I do acknowledge the fact that you have done things to improve the game. Part of the Wild Brood mission is you seem to be unlocking cosmetics, I think, for the exosuit. I don't really want to walk around with a bug head for my exosuit, but hey, I acknowledge the fact that you've done that. And, you've borrowed this from expeditions. That's a sight. But it doesn't change the fact that a lot of people in your industry seem to treat their customers like they're the junior members in Playpen. The junior members of Playpen should just play the game the way they're told to.